This week in gaming, Ubisoft might be anti-worker, Metroid Prime 4's open world is disappointing, and AI might be taking over your PlayStation. This is the Nerd Cave Newz, and I am one of your illustrious hosts for the 6th-year returning Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek Daniel. Derek, how's it going, my man?
Hey man, it's going pretty good. The boys are back in town, so it's been a couple weeks since we've had, hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Hope you got to spend some time with the people that you love, got to play some awesome video games, got to watch some awesome anime. We've already kicked off, the winter anime season, and we've already been banging from the get-go. So I can't wait to discuss some things and talks, but mainly we're talking about some video games because we had an episode of Eat Sleep Anime over the last weekend, Zach. So y'all should go check that out. It was a great episode. Yeah. So definitely go check that out. But that's not why you're here. You're here to talk video games with us. Isn't that right, Zach?
You are. That's why you're here. So, Derek, without further ado, let's jump into our favorite segment of each and every show. What you been playing?
So I already talked to you about it about a couple weeks ago. Been playing the small unknown game.
Very indie.
An indie game that technically it is an indie.
33 people worked on it.
Yeah, I'll say. And it won some awards, but little unknown game called Expedition 33. I finally got it. Kudos to my buddies Matt and Michaela. They kept bugging me what I wanted for Christmas. I finally gave it to them. They bought it for me, so I've been playing it, dude. I obviously I don't blame myself for jumping on it sooner. You play it when you play it, but I am in love with this game. Like I am. Like everything about it just works. You know what I mean? Like obviously, is it perfect? No. Is there some things it could probably improve on? Of course. It is Sandfall's first major title that they've been known for, but everything that I've done just makes sense. Like from the gommage in the beginning, that just is heart wrenching because that it sets the stage. Because like the way they jump in and you're reuniting with an old flame, but then it gets cut short. I'm just like, dude, like you're already setting me up to be upset. And when you see it happening, and then it's like you see why. It's like, and it's counting down. It's not like, it's Expedition 33. I'm like, okay, it says 34 in the background. Like, did we skip this? Is this forward in time? Are we going back in time to start the mission or whatever? Nope. It's counting down for mysterious reasons. There's the Paintress and stuff that's happening with the world. Like the population keeps going down. And after that, you're like, you have your determination. It's like, all right, this has to be the expedition where we defeat the Paintress and solve what's going on. And then it goes Hell's Paradise on us. And like the moment you touch on the land, this strange entity that should not be there is there. I'm not going to give it away. And then it's like just chaos ensues. Like just like boom, boom. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like all these weird creatures, and you get separated, and then that's when you start, like, obviously in the beginning you get introduced to the battle mechanics, which all make sense to me. Like, I'm not a fan of like the old school turn-based games, like outside of Pokemon. I know we all grew up on that to an extent, but then it just got to a point where it just became mundane and muddled and confusing, throughout. But this one actually, makes sense to me. And it's like, you got the aiming system to pinpoint weak spots. You've got just basic attacks if you don't have enough AP, and then you've got your special abilities that all have either elemental damage, some type of physical damage, or like the status effect, and it's just great. Like you can bounce it off of characters. Like I know Gustav's marksman ability, like marks them like so the next attack does extra damage, and then just bounce that off with Luna's elemental strikes. Like once you find what the weakness is, I'm like, that's cool. And then now I've got Mael as part of my party, and she's like the buff support character type of deal. Like she's got the different stances that give her different powers, and you got to pick and choose how you want to do it. And then you just go in the world and you just find, like, you wouldn't think that there would be off the beaten path stuff to find. Like, of course, like the secret items haven't been super in depth so far, but some of the better ones that you get are from some of these secret mini bosses that you find throughout it. And those are tough in and of themselves. And of course, I got my first boss battle in like the first area you have, and it's just this giant creature that just comes down, and I'm like, what is happening? And then you're just fighting it. And then of course I fought the second. I'm in the third area now, but I was in Flying Waters, and then I'm fighting the side creature, and it like eats Gustav in the first turn. I'm like, huh? And
Yeah.
and then it's just Luna and Mael, and I'm going to town on it. And then after it's down to about a quarter of its health, it eats Mael, and it's just Luna. I'm like, what is happening? Why are you doing this? And then right before I deliver the finishing blow, it spits out the other two characters, and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna have low HP, but they don't. And then you finish it off, and it's so cool. But one of the mini bosses I found toward the end of my playthrough the other day was the Chromatic Troubadour, and that thing, it's got like a trumpet. It's like, and it goes on. I don't know if you found that boss or not.
Is that like you're in the water and you go off to like the left and then around a building, and then you go
like
down?
around
okay.
like you do the like little chain link thing, and you
Yep.
go around. Yep.
Yeah. I remember that, and I was like, I did it twice. I was like, nope, forget it, and I left.
Well, and I don't know what it was. Like it one-shotted Gustav essentially. Yep. I'm just like, huh? Like I didn't dodge in time, and then he just goes wombo combos me. But then it doesn't one-shot. Like I don't know if the first shot has to hit, because I didn't. The third blast always got me, but it did a little bit of damage, but it didn't like take away a third of my health. And I don't know if the combo has to sit up for it to one-shot me, but it just was Gustav. I'm like, the first time I had to use a revive tint, I'm like, this is weird. Why is this? But I defeated it. So
wow. Congrats to you, man, because it whooped me. It one-shotted all of my party.
Man, I don't know what happened, but it was just Gustav that went down, and then I revived him, and then I made sure to dodge every time after that. But the enemy types are just, unique to each area. Like I know like those little like ghosts that carries like the little mines, like underwater mines, like as part of it. Like I was like, okay, that's definitely a weak point. So I would just pop off, and it would cause AoE damage if there was like an entire monster party. I'm like, that's cool. Like, so I get to damage the entire party right off rip. So it's, I love it. Like, it's just, everything just makes sense in that game. Like the Pictos, I really don't see like too much of a benefit with yet, but now I'm getting like new weapons, and I'm seeing that. And I just ended like at a camp after you leave the area with Mael. And then, of course, like No Face is what I call him, comes to you, and like you get to upgrade your weapons and get to put more Lumina points in your party. I'm like, okay, this is another added layer, which just is cool to do and loves to make sense. So, I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this game, and I'm just gonna enjoy it. Like I can't wait to get more party members and like see their different abilities, but also like the random mime encounters that you do, like those are the hardest ones, because like they put up that defense and it just like stagnates your damage to where you should until I get Gustav to do his overcharge ability and like break it. That's when I really start to do like legit damage to those things.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but the more you're able to like stack some of the things that you don't think matter at the beginning, the more potent your characters will become and everything. Right. But welcome everybody to the show. We hope you're doing well. Let us know what you're playing down in the comments below. Jesse Ray, welcome over on the vertical stream. Mikey, what's up, my man? Hoping that you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Amy says, let me go back up there. I've been keeping up with Animal Crossing as much as I can. Amy's been having some wrist pain, some like tendinitis issues. I guess she's trying to copy me from when I was having all of those issues with my wrist and everything. But we're glad that you're here, everybody. If you want to be more part of the conversation, go over to the horizontal stream. That's where most of the regulars and everything come and watch and all of that. But we're glad that you're here. So Derek, you've been playing Expedition 33. I'm excited for you to get more into that. I played a good chunk of it. I played about 12-ish hours or something. And I'm going to restart on stream this coming
Okay.
up time, but I'm going to play it on PlayStation and everything. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. For me, the break was good because I got to play a few different games.
Yeah.
I got Dispatch, and I've played through Dispatch. I'm on my second playthrough right now, and man, that game is so good. For anyone that doesn't know, it is a Telltale game, essentially, like a
Style game.
Telltale, yeah, like a Telltale game. It's ad hoc that made the game, and you play as a character that was like essentially like Iron Man, but he lost his suit. So to pay for his suit getting fixed, he's working for a dispatch thing for superheroes.
Yeah.
And Aaron Paul plays the main character, and there's several other characters in there, but you get to choose all your different lines and all of that. But the main gameplay is dispatching this group of reformed criminals, supervillains, and they're trying to be superheroes at this point. So a lot of comedy. The people over at Critical Role actually wrote the story, which is fantastic. The humor, the shock, the turmoil, the decisions. There was times where I was like, I don't know what like it's a turd sandwich one way or another. It's like I don't want to choose any of these things, but like it just really draws you in, and I just didn't want to put down the controller. And that tells me right there that it's a good game that I would literally go to bed thinking about it and wake up thinking about it. And I haven't had that in a very long time with a video game, and it just really enthralled me. The villain Shroud in this game is good. The reasoning behind why Robert Robertson wants to, be Mecha Man and everything is really, really well done, and just
keep up.
Yeah, oh, man, so many good things in this game. Highly recommend playing it on whatever system you're going to play on. It is great. Finish that again. Like I said, I'm playing through. I played a good chunk on PC, and then I jumped on my Steam Deck and played the rest of it. It translates pretty well. The only thing that's a little wonky is like when you're in the dispatching software. It just took a little bit more to get used to than just like pointing clicking on the mouse keyboard. It makes it a little bit easier. So rolled credits on that, and then I rolled credits on Death Stranding while we were on break as well. And man, that game just hits so good, y'all. I can't like. I'm glad I played it when I played it, just like you were talking about. You picked up,
Origins
and everything when you picked it up. But I'm like, man, I'm glad I played this game because the whole time I was enjoying it. I talked about this like several times on there. It does get more Kojima-esque at the end with the story. Like it's already kind of weird, but it definitely like plays more. And I'm like sitting on the couch because I brought the PlayStation out there, and Amy's like, I don't know what's going on. And she's watching, she's like, what is happening? And I'm trying to explain. she's like, I'm done. She's like, I'm trying to explain like beaches and how all of these things and all of this. She's like, I don't know. She's like, whatever.
She's like, do you, boo? I'm out.
But man, the ride was so worth it. And like, I definitely want to play more of it, because now I'm like post game, I can still, upgrade stuff and finish roads and all this kind of stuff. It's not a priority, but it is something that I do want to play a little bit more offline and everything. But man,
so my question for you is, Zach, I know when you were in the middle of your playthrough, you were already debating about what your next game would be, and I forget what you decided on, but because of the way it ended and the way it just resonated with you, will you jump in immediately to the sequel, or will you take a break from the Death Stranding universe and play something else?
I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. One, because I don't need to spend money on video games at the moment. But I think, I don't know what's my next game. I did get Ace Combat 7, so I might play some of it. And then I've got Arc Raiders that I want to play some more of. So might take a break on story games for a little bit. But I'm really enjoying it, and I do have Control that I want to pick up. I also have Alan Wake 2, which is another game that I want to jump into this year. I have a whole list of like games
Yeah.
that I want to play, but I think for right now, I'm just going to kind of play a little bit of multiplayer games, just kind of satisfy the itch a little bit. I played Peak on Tuesday. That game is
Okay.
fun, dude. That game is so fun.
Would you say it's peak?
Um, sure, yeah. It was more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Let's
Oh
just say
wow.
that. I was playing with Joe, Nate, and Dan,
Mhm.
and it definitely takes teamwork to do it. And when you die, you become a little ghost and you hover around someone's face. And
What other game did that? I forget. Or was it, maybe I'm thinking of Among Us, where it was like, oh,
oh yeah, yeah, you could turn into a ghost when Among Us, yeah. But you can actually see the ghost. And the last round we were in, both Nate and Dan, like I'm trying to like get to the top so I could revive everybody, you know, bring everybody alive.
right.
They were getting right in front of my face so I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to bring you back to life. But yeah, it's fun to like grief the other players. It's definitely like one of those. Yeah, Nate's over
Nate.
here. He and with his evil devil horns. But man, it's a lot of fun. I can't wait to play more of it, but I am looking forward to rolling credits in the next week or two on Yote. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and finishing it up because I do want to play Expedition 33 on stream.
Yeah.
Amy said the chaos was perfection. Perfection. Well, that's what we've been playing. Let us know what you've been playing down in the comments below. We've got an awesome show for you. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure you tune in each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time for the Nerd Cave News, because we talk to you about everything that's going on in the video game sphere.
And man, when I was putting this doc together, was it kind of upsetting? It's like, didn't we just talk about in our last show what we want video games, the industry to change, and here we are talking about the same things. First show of the year.
You know, it's like trying to fight a behemoth, because our first story of the year, Ubisoft shuts down recently unionized Halifax studio, and this is by Marcus Stewart at Game Informer.
So Ubisoft is shutting down Ubisoft Halifax, a studio that previously worked on Rocksmith and mobile titles in the Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six franchises. 71 staff members have been affected. This news comes just 2 days after Ubisoft Halifax unionized, with 61 employees joining the Game and Media Workers Guild of Canada. The studio had announced the plans to unionize in June of last year and became Ubisoft's first labor union in North America. Excuse me. Despite the timing, Ubisoft told Video Game Chronicles in a statement that the decision to close Ubisoft Halifax was made, quote, well before the studio unionized, and is part of a company-wide effort to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and reduce costs. Ubisoft also states that it, quote, fully respects employees' right to unionize and promises to support the impacted employees with severance packages and career assistance. And Zach, you can slice this any way you want to, but it's just ironic with the timing. You know what I mean? And to say that, you know, they talked about unionizing in June, and to say Ubisoft was already, quote, thinking about way like over 6 months ago shutting them down. I'm like, I get that stuff happens in advance, because, you know, the GameStop in Troy just shut down. And, you know, my mom, when I told my mom this, she was just like, oh, they must not have had a good Christmas. And I'm like, Mom, they probably made this decision way, you know, months ago. They didn't just do it like 2 weeks ago. They didn't decide that. They had already had this plan. They just don't tell the employees until right before it happens. You know what I mean? But it's ironic. Now, could Ubisoft be telling the truth, and they could have decided it way before the studio even came to them to say, hey, we're unionizing? It's like, okay, well, we got something for you, but, you know, we'll let you do your thing. But I think it definitely expedited the process. It's like, oh, they want to unionize? They're not making money anyway? Shut them down. You know what I mean? Like, you know, kick them to the curb. So, and it's very, you know, when we've talked about it before, unions used to mean a lot different. What unions used to do and mean back in the 70s, 60s, like even back then. is way different than how it's viewed today. Like, especially in today's world, like, yes, we want to fight for workers' rights, but you go to a corporation and say, hey, we want to unionize. They look at you and it's like, don't you do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not in your best interest to do it. And it either deters them or they are no longer employed with said company. So it's definitely seems like a death sentence, essentially, like a career death sentence, essentially. And I hate that because it's like, why are you anti-worker, as the show title states? Like, why are you against workers' rights? Like, I know, especially because unions on the other side don't mean what they used to. It's like unions are like protecting workers' rights, and it used to mean, all right, now you bust your butt to make sure that you keep the rights instead of losing them. But now it's like people just use the excuse to be lazy, not show up on time, or just call out and not get penalized for it. And it's just like, I get that. I get there's that stigma out there too, but you can't just say, oh, we can't be anti-union all the time. You know what I mean? Effectively, like that's not, two wrongs can't make a right in this situation. I don't know. What are your takes on this? Because obviously, I think we're both in agreement that even Ubisoft can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Like, they can say it's like, oh, them unionizing didn't have an effect on the studio, but it did. Like, if you get them behind closed doors and inject them with true serum, they're going to say it did. So it's what do you view this as?
Yeah, this is just an easy decision. Once they hear, oh, you're going to unionize, okay, we're closing, we're reshaping, we're streamlining. I love that corporate term,
restructuring.
And it's just like, when you look at that, it's like, okay, if somebody, if you were in a business and an employee came in and was like, hey, I want a raise, and you're like, well, I'm about to have to let somebody go, and you're coming in here and you're wanting a raise, and you're, trying to strong arm or whatever, who's the employee you're going to let go?
Yeah.
Probably that person that's trying to strong arm you.
Yep.
Same thing with unions. A lot of companies see them as a threat when it should actually be a thing where you have representation of your employees, where it's a singular voice, because unions, if they're done right, they are able to pull all the consensus and have representation where the employer is not having to talk to every single person. They're able to talk to a few people to get the understanding of where the employees are coming from. That's what it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, in the gaming sphere, unions are very, very limited. We only see a few of them, and it's sad because Rockstar has laid people off because of unions.
Yep. Oh no, they didn't, Zach. They leaked company secrets.
Yeah, they leaked company secrets. Now Ubisoft, we've seen IGN's parent company lay people off because they unionize as well. And it's just like, it's just across the board where they're afraid of what unions mean. And it's like, well, if you treated people right, they probably wouldn't have to unionize.
Correct.
I'm just saying, like,
and
if
yes,
you really look at it,
are there some employees that think that, oh, they are living in like the worst timeline, and like, oh, do they over exaggerate some of their work conditions? Yeah, there are some, and they use that to like, oh, we should unionize them. Like, but for the people that actually are advocating for employee rights, it's like, no, hear them out. Like, it's just saddening that this is what it comes to. It's just like everyone's now it's going to be, I feel like this is going to be like the next thing. Like, the next big industry thing is like, oh, everyone's anti-union now. It's like, oh, you want to unionize? Axed. So,
yeah, and it's like, we went from layoffs to now we're going to justify streamlining by getting rid of people that are trying to, make better working conditions, have better, work-life balance, which work-life balance is kind of a lie, to really be honest. Like, you don't work to live, you live to work, when you really get down to it. But this right here, like, I understand Halifax has not made things that have, just flew off the shelves. Okay. Right. But did they set them up? Was management something that actually put them into this position, like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's like, do you think the coder that's sitting over there that's, just trying to pay his bills decided what games to make? No, it's the leadership.
Right.
And the leadership got approval by somebody higher up on the list to make whatever mobile game, whatever thing that they were trying to push, or Rocksmith, which interesting idea, but it was about 6 or 7 years too late when it came out.
Yeah.
So
Amy,
it's sad.
Amy, workers' rights, you can't have those. Exactly.
Yeah, it's illegal to have workers' rights. Yeah, and it goes to I wonder why I keep saying Dan. Nate's point here, and use AI to replace those employees. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we got a story about AI later on. Maybe it's not so bad, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, when it comes down to it, I hope that this is not a trend we see more of this year, is that this is the excuse.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see more and more junk like this.
Yeah, unfortunately, and the year just started.
And the year just started.
We
exactly.
are 8 days in, and we've already had a story about a studio closure.
Sad times. Let's talk about Nintendo. Nintendo says Metroid Prime 4's open world hub was a victim of the game's lengthy development. And this is by Tom Phillips at IGN.
So Nintendo has said it was unwilling to backtrack on the design of Metroid Prime 4 beyond controversial open world hub, despite seeing, quote, changed attitudes to open world games, as the project had already been rebooted once already. The Switch and Switch 2 blockbuster launched last month to mostly positive reviews, but also a broad swath of criticism, specifically for its annoying supporting characters and bland open world desert hub where you ride around rather aimlessly on a motorbike. Quote, at the start of the project, perhaps due to the influence of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we saw a lot of comments on the internet saying, we want to play an open world Metroid. Nintendo said the interview does not label comments from individual developers by name. However, Metroid's core element of increasing the amount of explorable areas by unlocking powers is not very compatible with the freedom to go anywhere from the beginning of open worlds. Thus, we thought to design a limited area that could be freely explored and have that be a hub that could connect to other areas. Then we thought that if one could move around on the bike in a satisfying way in that area, it could be a segment that mitigates the tension from exploration and paces the whole game. In the end, the game took much longer than expected to finish, and we realized that players' impressions toward open world games had changed. That being said, development had already been reset once before when we started again from scratch with Retro Studios, so backtracking development again was out of the question, and we resolved to move forward with our original vision. Nintendo's comments that the open world hub was part of its original vision for Metroid Prime 4 certainly suggest it was not Retro Studios' design, though the implication is that Nintendo only realized the flaws with it after the game development was begun anew. Quote, during this time, shooting games and action games went through evolutions with an increase in game speed in particular, but taking in those changes could have made it difficult to construct the tempo of an adventure game, so we actively chose to not take them into account. Therefore, I think this game is pretty much divorced from the changing of times. The idea of Samus gaining psychic abilities also predated Retro Studios' reboot and originated as an explanation for why she is now able to control the charge beam's directional shot. After Retro took over the project, Nintendo said it asked the studio to implement further gameplay features that expanded on the idea of Samus gaining a psychic power set. So, obviously, this is one peek behind the curtain as to why, because this game was revealed way long ago, and then it got re-revealed in I think 2019. Well, I forget when it did. I forget if it got originally revealed in 2019 or if it was re-revealed in 2019. But regardless, it had been several years since we had seen it, and then it came back, and it was like, hey, we had to. Then we heard rumblings of it had to be rebooted. Go ahead.
2017 was the original announcement.
Okay, got you. So that's even worse. I know they had some turmoil with Retro. They had to take charge over it, and then this was their answer to it. But it seems like it wasn't critically received well. So I don't know. Like I know the game came and went, and it seemed to come out to just like a dull roar, essentially, because I didn't hear anyone really gushing over the game. I know
Yeah.
it was in like Game Awards season and everything like that. People were more focused on what was going to win Game of the Year. But I don't know. This kind of cements the fact to me that the game, we saw several trailers of it throughout, the last couple of years, and it just looked like crap. And it looked like it was like an old school game that just didn't evolve with the times. And I think this just solidifies the fact that, yeah, the game should have not come out, to be fair with you.
Yeah, because if you look at Metroid Dread, that game sold crazy, was reviewed really well, and is lauded as such a great version of Metroid. Yes, it is a side scroller. This
And
one
it came
like,
out on the 3DS.
yeah, and this one, like we've seen, like you said, multiple versions of it, and it just never hit. And them in this is like, oh, well, the tempo and this and that, and it's like, you just sound like you're making excuses. Like this is what people expect out of a shooter. And then you're like, oh, well, open world gaming has changed. And it's like, well, why have it if it's not something that's expected? And it's like, oh, well, you could drive a bike. The bike did look cool, but if that's all you got to do was drive around and there was really nothing, you might have a few enemies pop out here and there. It's not really worth having. Like, have a cool bike segment that has like some action, I think about like the end of Halo 3 where you're like trying to escape the ring and you're on the Warthog and everything. Like Halo, you never were in the vehicles too much in the regular story. But it was cool when you got to drive the Scorpion or you got to fly the Banshee or whatever it was, but it was really constructed in a certain way where that enjoyment was more story based. Just driving around aimlessly on a bike in the desert isn't that cool.
No.
So,
especially when there's nothing much to do in the open world hub anyway.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like it's people being too stringent. It's like, oh, well, this is the vision. It's like, well, does this serve the game? Like the vision might have been this, but we're looking at what this is, and it doesn't really serve it.
No.
It's like, putting peanut butter on a hamburger. Does it really serve the hamburger?
Yeah. Nope.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't serve the hamburger at all. So it's like, take the peanut butter off the hamburger, put some ketchup on it, and ship it. You know what I mean? Like you could have sped up the gameplay and made it where it could have been a more competitor to Doom, because I think Doom is the best shooter of 2025.
Correct.
Hands down. Like it is so good. And I put that up against Call of Duty any day.
Especially now, right?
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like this is, I always love hearing about like development cycles and why decisions were and all of this, but this also just feels more of like excuses. This doesn't feel like, oh, this really cool thing. Hey, this is why we decided this. It doesn't feel like it's really telling me something that I wanted to know. Like, again, it might be just because it's Metroid, but it's like, I think about Corey Barlog. Anytime he was like on something, I was like, I gotta listen to what Corey's saying about God of War. Why was this story thing and this and that and the other? And this feels like, oh yeah, we decided this because blah blah blah. And it's like, it just sounds like a suit talking. And it's like, yeah.
Sounds like it was written by Chat GPT.
Speaking of Chat GPT, everybody, make sure to subscribe to the Nerd Cave right here so you don't become a bot. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't become a bot. You don't want to be a bot. Don't just listen to the man. Don't do that. Be a person. Don't let Skynet come online. Subscribe to the Nerd Cave right here for Nerd Cave News and Eat, Sleep, Anime, and all the other cool stuff that we do here. If you like video games and you like podcasts and you like anime and video games. Did I say video games?
Video games.
Goddamn video games. You should subscribe right now, everybody, because the face of video games is changing.
Yeah,
it seems like because the future of video games is weird, and maybe we'll see a PlayStation 6 in 2030. I don't know. We'll see. New Sony patent hints at AI taking control of a PlayStation game to help you when you're stuck. This is by Michael Herodens at psu.com.
When you're stuck on a video game, your first port of call is usually consulting an online guide or even asking a mate for help. However, a new patent filed by Sony has revealed technology that could see players turning to AI for guidance if they've hit a brick wall in a gaming session. The documents describe this feature as a ghost player and allows the player to call an AI-generated ghost version of the character who is able to complete a level by itself, or at the last find a solution, or at very least find a solution to the particular area you're stuck on. Excuse me. The patent was filed in September of 2024, but an international status report on it was published only this week by the World Intellectual Property Organization. An example given is having the player select guide mode if stuck on a puzzle in something like Uncharted, which would have the AI control the main character to offer a demonstration to the solution. You could then take control and complete the riddle yourself. On the other hand, complete mode has the AI do it for you. The PS5, of course, took a major step forward in aiding players in titles with its game help system. Excuse me. Offering tips with images and video content for compatible titles. It has been particularly useful among trophy hunters. Still, while it's easy to assume this new patent will hint at what's to come for the PS6, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll ever come to fruition. Now, yes and no. I mean, there have been plenty of times where Sony files a patent and it does nothing. But we've seen more often than not, especially from the PS4 into the PS4 into the PS5 era, that when they patent something, it usually comes to fruition. So I can't see this because I think we talked about something similar about like guide help.
We talked about this specifically like a few years ago,
right? And
now we're coming back to it, which means that they're pushing this forward.
Exactly. So, and it obviously we've talked about ad nauseum, like AI is better as a tool than to replace it. So the original way like this article reads, like when you read the title, it's like, oh, it's just going to pop up magically and excuse me, hold on.
It's going to pop up magically. It's going to finish things for you. I'm assuming that's what you're going to say.
Right, exactly. Like this is going to take over and just tell you, it's like, oh, we see you're having a hard time. Let us help. It's like, no, let me ask for help. And the fact is like, okay, you can push a button and it'll like, then it'll be like, okay, I've had enough. Like I've tried every, which way, what am I missing here? And then it helps. That's exactly what AI needs to be. Obviously we've talked about like, that's what it should be there for.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, cool. Like, I just don't want it taking it over and ruining my gaming experience, because that's originally how the article made it sound, was like, oh, you're having a hard time on this puzzle, or you're like, because I want to know, like, it specifically states like puzzles or like how to get through an area. I want to know how far it would go. Like, okay, perfect example, Souls-like games, right? Or Soulsborne games. That genre is known for its difficulty, and it's like, okay, I've been killed by this boss several times. Like, will it take over and beat the boss for me? Will it give me tips? Like, will it just jump in like how you can call in assistance or whatever, like do summons? Will it do it like that, or will it just beat the boss for me? Because then comes the wishy-washy thought process of, it's like, oh, did you really beat the boss, or did you have AI beat it for you? You know what I mean? It's like, are you really that type of gamer? Like, it's like, oh, you say you're a Souls fan, but are you? It's like, I don't know about that. So I hope it's not that. And then again, it's like, where do you stop? Like, single player games, sure, it makes sense for, but it's like, okay, what about multiplayer games? If you are trying to get prestige,
I think there's too many variables within a multiplayer game for that to really work. And to Michael's point, wouldn't that need to be integrated into the games? I think that would, like, they would have to know like how the levels are set up, where X, Y, and Z, all of those things, to be able to be effective. Maybe this is, I know there was something that they were talking about first party not too long ago, that it would be a first party only thing, and they could be adopted if third parties wanted it. So
right,
I could see that. But yeah, I don't think we're going to we're going to get multiplayer, and we already have sort of like this. To Joe's comment, you know, I hope it's optional. I hate when a character goes, maybe I should look at key item. I know Atreus was dogged on because of that.
Yeah.
Would give away too many things too fast. But it's like, even in harder battles, it's like, if you keep dying, I think Yote is this way. It's like, you keep dying, it will like, hey, do you want to drop down the difficulty? Or
Right.
you know, we've had that for a while, but I think this is a new option. And you know, if you look at it, it's like, we've seen the kind of progression here where it's like the difficulties, like settings have been one thing, game help has been another, that they've introduced and everything, and this is just kind of like the logical progression of that.
Right. It's the final evolution of back in the old Zelda games. Now they're going, hey, listen.
Yeah, and you know, it's like we had the Nintendo Power, you know, hotline and all of that back in the day, where there was an expert that had to answer whatever question when you called in and all of that. And I you know, if you really, I think the only time when I actually have used this was on Prototype 1, the final boss. I couldn't beat that thing. Yeah, I played that probably 150 times trying to beat that boss. Could never beat it. So that would be the only time I would ever use it to beat a boss, because I just wanted to say I beat Prototype. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't think it's taking away people's jobs. Like, like, oh, somebody might get less views on a YouTube video or something like that, but I don't think this is like going to be a industry wide thing. I think this is just Sony trying to push themselves into a new place. Maybe they sell this to other developers. I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't think it's going to be something that's going to kill anything.
No, I don't think so either. So, but only time will tell. Like, now, if this was in Ubisoft's hands, or if this was in Activision's hands, it would definitely be right. It would definitely be scummy.
Oh yeah. They'd be like, how can we fire some people? how can we union bust, y'all?
Right, exactly. This union talked about, or this studio talked about unionizing. Replace them with AI.
Let's wait till right before Thanksgiving, though, and then we'll fire them.
Exactly.
Oh, they're having a birthday? Fire them. That's their present.
Oh, they're about to get a quarterly bonus? Fire them. That's our bonus now.
Yeah, that's our bonus. We get to keep that. Well, that is the main story tonight. It's time for the Patreon Quick Hits. Patreon Quick Hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Go and support the Nerd Cave by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows like this one, Eat Sleep Anime, our weekly gaming live streams, and so much more. Go over there and check it out. Even if you don't have any bucks to toss, go get the free membership. You get to see some things that nobody else has got to see over here. There's literally a JJK review that has never seen the light of day on YouTube. It is all over on Patreon. So go check that out. Be a part of that. Become part of the ship, part of the crew by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership at patreon.com/Nerd Cave. It's time for the Patreon Quick Hits.
So starting off, Phantom Blade Zero has hit over 1 million wish lists following release date confirmation. Silent Hill series producer confirms plans to release about one title per year now that the franchise is back on track. Sean Layden says there is a huge value for platform companies like Sony and Nintendo to have strong exclusives. Lionsgate boss confirms a AAA John Wick game is in development. Arc Raiders dev confirms it recently added aggression-based matchmaking, but it is not a full science. The Arc Raiders movie and TV show offers are already coming in, and the boss of Embark Studios is up for it. Following that, Arc Raiders dev reveals free-to-play model was ditched after team looked at games like Helldivers. Claire Obscure Fan wins ridiculous 8-hour boss battle with over 10,000 successful parries and no dodges. For context, because I was like, what boss fight takes eight hours? He was way under leveled for whatever boss fight he did. So this is the result of that. But it resulted in him having news headlines. So good on him or them. Resident Evil 4 Remake had a playable Ashley prologue chapter that was cut from the final release. Rebel Wolves: The Blood of Dawnwalker reconfirmed for 2026. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced domain registration has been unearthed, suggesting a reveal could be imminent. Final Fantasy IX character designer Toshiyuki Itahana departs Square Enix after more than 30 years. Kojima Productions inches closer to its third phase as Hideo Kojima says 2026 is about laying solid foundations. We are all connected in Death Stranding. Intel is making its own handheld PC, gaming PC chips. Asus and X-Rail have announced gaming XR glasses with a 240 hertz refresh rate. The Asus ROG GM1000 is a gaming PC with holograms in its fans. Former ZeniMax Online founder confirms he resigned because Xbox killed Project Blackbird. It's taken 15 years, but someone finally completed Super Meat Boy without dying once. Sonic Racing Crossworlds adds Pac-Man Pack, which is out now, with Pac-Man Festival, which is a separate in-game event, will be running today through the 11th. The Witcher 3 secret expansion rumors are swirling, and after CD Projekt Red hints at new content, Pistol Whip studio Cloudhead Games reveals it has laid off 70% of staff due to industry forces beyond our control, which I feel like that's also going to be the news. It's like, it's out of our hands. Like, it's beyond our control. Sorry, guys. Amazon's Tomb Raider series officially confirms Jason Isaacs and Sigourney Weaver have joined the cast. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles has hit 1 million shipments and digital sales. The South Park Fortnite crossover arrives tomorrow. Fallout Season 3 is set to begin filming on May 1st in Santa Clarita. Rumor, Fallout New Vegas is in development alongside Fallout 3 Remaster. Wolfenstein 3 is reportedly in development. And lastly, Union asks judge to grant fired GTA 6 devs interim relief at preliminary tribunal hearing, and Rockstar denies the claims.
Well, I just looked up Pistol Whip, and it's got like very positive on Steam. It's a VR game, which I agree with you. I feel like the amount of reviews on here, 3,551 reviews, which not every gamer leaves a review. Every game's $40. That's what they're selling for. No, $29.99. If you get the whole pack, it's $46. But dude, and that's just on Steam. I don't know, like on MetaQuest and all of that, they might have more reviews. They're making money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're making money.
But 70%, man, like, that's ridiculous.
But the game came out in 2019, so I don't know. Maybe they're not making money.
Maybe it's stagnated. I don't know. Just it still doesn't excuse them.
No, it doesn't. Like, that's poor planning on the management side. You know what I mean? I feel like when it really comes down to it, like, you look at all of these, every time when a successful company does well, it's because of the workers.
Mm-hmm.
And when something bad happens, it's because of the leadership.
Yep.
That is how it works.
I mean, it's like, in football, when you win the game, it was a team victory. When you lose, the quarterback takes it on himself. It's like, I didn't do enough.
Yeah. And
that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how a leadership is supposed to be. It's about the people that are around you, not you. But when there's an issue, there's a failure, it's your job to be able to take that, learning from headhunted from another world. It's like you gotta learn from your mistakes and then move on and everything. Do have a quick update. I got a text from my friend Bo from Bo Knows Gaming, and he started a little game last night, Derek. I don't know if you can tell from my screen right here.
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, he just started playing God of War, and his text during the show was, I can't get over how crazy this game is. Thor is terrifying.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet?
Yeah, dude, that intro, guys, if you haven't played God of War Ragnarok, I almost want to do a playthrough. Like now they're both playing it, it's like I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Kind of makes me want to. I still have it installed on my PS5. It makes me want to just boot it up and go run it back.
So good, guys. So good. Well, that is our episode tonight. Make sure to stay tuned. We've got a lot of anime content that is going to be coming your way with all the new releases. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, JJK's new season, Freerun next week. So many good things happening. So stay tuned for that. Plus all the other regular content that we're going to be putting out. But thank y'all so much. And yes, I am looking for an excuse to play it again. Why not?
Hey, when a game's good, you know, why not, right?
Why not? You know, I've only played 2018 twice. So it's like, do I do 2018 and then Ragnarok again? I don't know.
I mean, this is the same man who played Ghost of Tsushima like 3 different years.
True, very true. But everybody, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. We'll be back again. Thank you for everybody that's going supporting over on Patreon. This has been Zach
and Derek.
You have a blessed week.